All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I am going to try to sneak in a quick GTI cover here, okay? Look, normally I get a lot more excited if a candle breaks both the 8 and the 20. You know I always stress on my videos, good things happen over the 8 and the 20. I don't know how much emphasis I can really put on that today, and we'll go over that shortly. Real quick, if you've never been here, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines, as well as the trend line that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like, subscribe, share, comment. Anything you can do really does help with the YouTube algorithms. But I swear, just being here and giving me your time is beyond appreciated, okay? So look, let's get into it, okay? And again, normally on any given video, if we're gonna break the 8 and the 20, the 8 moving average and the 20, the orange and green line, I'm gonna be really happy. I'm gonna be ringing the good things are happening bell and happy video. Couple reasons why I'm actually going to kind of ignore this, right? Obviously, tomorrow confirmation very much changes my opinion, right? But let me just call out a couple things. Today closes at 169. The biggest candle to the left is up here at 1.7. We miss it by just a penny, but it's enough to suck. You know what I mean? Like, you got to break the biggest candle to the left. And in my opinion, you got to like break it well, right? So even if we got like 171, generally I'd be happy by a penny, but like this is like check mark one that was unaccomplished, right? Like, dang. Number two, what I don't like is obviously today going up was important because yesterday actually lost all 4 moving averages. It loses 3 on a single day and falls out of the 4, kind of making it seem like it's going to want to come down, right? Today at least brings us back, but we've been hovering this bottom of it, right? Like, this is clearly the top, this is clearly the middle. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days have just been on the bottom of this stack. That's a little scary, right? Like, we really need to go up pretty soon. Otherwise, the fear is just, it's the trend line, hopefully, that bounces us. Otherwise, we might be coming to this 145. And I've kind of been saying, my gut is saying we're going to come to this 145, and I'm kind of still holding that on this video. I for sure see the MACD coming up a little bit. I for sure see the RSI coming up a little bit. I see that the RSI is not that high, but I hate this volume. Like, it's been literally, it's been weeks. It's now been almost a full 2 weeks since we've even come close to cracking this white 50 average line. And this one day was an insignificant random one in the month. Like, literally from month to month, we've only had one. And what I also don't like, look, the 50 moving average was up here at 1.4. We're now sub million. That's not good. That means volume's going down. And just as I look back at this thing, like, this big volume spike seems like a very distant memory. And instead of all the spikes being nothing but greens and just badass, it's really a bunch of reds and some greens. A bunch of red and one green. Couple greens here. That one's a nice little consistent one, actually. I will very much give it that. January was nice. Even this one kind of does look okay too, but there's just so much, like, it's not the same as this, right? Like, even all these greens, only 2 of them really cracked that white line. As nice as this run was, it would have been even more monstrous if we were cracking the white line. I sincerely believe that. This one cracks the white line and actually kind of goes against what I was saying. It's almost the exact same level of run, even with the other one. So it's kind of funny that I got this one, I think, a little bit wrong. Because just looking percent wise, I think they're about the same. I'm not trying to do the quick math here, but dang, that's really sad to see that, like, this stack didn't quite do this. And I mean, obviously the volume levels aren't the same, right? That they're almost half of what these were. But yeah, man, volume on this bad boy isn't what it was. And again, I think you need some good volume to break 4 in a row. Like, my goal is a gap up. I really think it's going to be hard to go through the stack of 4. You either need to gap it up and keep going. Like, this day gapped up but couldn't keep going, right? Like, you need to start above the 200 and then just keep going. Otherwise, like, it's going to be too hard to run through, okay? Looking at the weekly, so someone made a comment that there's a head and shoulders forming on the weekly. I for real have no idea what that means. All right. When I think of Head and Shoulders, I'm thinking shampoo, not like let's make a move on it. You know what I mean? So for me, all I'm really seeing is this weekly is getting even tighter than the daily. Right? Like it just seems like next week is, or maybe this week, because it's still relatively early, right? But yeah, next week seems like it's the one that's gonna do it, right? Is it gonna go here and up, or is it gonna fall here and drop, right? I just if I had to guess. So we've been wildly tight, wildly tight. Like I think next week, based on how tight this is, something might happen here. So let's see it. I will say the trend line's not as equal, so maybe that fact kind of changes things. I'm not necessarily going to keep this because I'm not here to draw a weekly trend line. Let me lower this to hit that right there. Come on. All right, maybe it's not next week. Maybe based on the weekly, there's still another one, maybe 2 more weeks before something silly should happen. And again, I don't know if silly means up or down, but yeah, I'm still not convinced we're cracking 185. If 185 cracks, I very much ring the bell of bullishness and super happy. Anything under this line, you're really gonna have me worried unless like you start to see the 8 and the 20 start to go up. End of the day, this 20 wants to keep going down. I can't believe it took this long to mention that, right? So yeah, I don't like being in this. Over this, hell yeah. All right. Under this, trade safely out there. If you disagree with anything, throw it in the comments. Otherwise, you know I appreciate your time so much.